Just before I start this video, I just wanted to say a big shout out to everyone that has given me positive feedback on my videos. I really appreciate it. Obviously, you always receive the negative feedback. That's much appreciated too. I like hearing everyone's different opinions on the game and what they think of what I'm saying. Anyway, today I actually wanted to talk about launchers in this game and how launchers work, and really the general rule of launchers in fighting games. Now, I'm not gonna go into every single character, so I'll go into a few. But I just want to kind of go over why Mortal Kombat 11 launchers are really some of the silliest things in the game as well, and how sort of Mortal Kombat breaks standard fighting game rules. Okay, so I wanted to start with ShangChi, and the move I'm going to be focusing on is the ground sparks. And the ground sparks are a launcher when you EX them. I don't actually know the combos because I don't use the character. Something like that. But he essentially he gets a combo when he does the ground sparks. Now the ground sparks are not safe. However, for most characters you have to flawless block this move to get a punish on him, or he has to do it like sort of point blank and you block them and then punish him. If he stands at about this range, for example, again, I don't know the combos, but if he stands at that range, then he's pretty safe against most characters unless you flawless block it. And whilst it's appreciated that the flawless block is there, the way it works is kind of unfair on the person defending, because the guy using ShangChi recovers fairly quickly, and then you sort of get a spam fest, and you're sort of like, they're just on block really, just blocking this stuff constantly, and the onus, like the risk reward factor is not great. So it's not a huge deal with, well, I say it's not a huge deal, it's very irritating, and they did nerf it, but it takes away the ShangChi player actually using their head when they're engaging in combat, because it's just down back one. They're probably not going to get to punish you at sort of like ranges like this. Probably can't do much about it, and you can just sort of go in there and do a bunch of nonsense. And the guy defending, he's kind of stuck. It's not to say he can't do anything about it, but the person that is using ShangChi, they've got way more options. They don't really have to engage too much, and that's one of my big problems with MK11. The risk reward factor is really bad. There's not too much risk in a ShangChi player doing this and spamming it over and over again and using it as a keep out tool as well. Not to mention ShangChi also has the corpse drop and the fireball that will travel across the screen, so he's got 3 ways to sort of keep you out. And none of them are too much of a risk for him. There's no real cooldown in any of his fireballs. He gets good juggles from the ground sparks, and you have to eat a lot of shit before you can get in there and beat him. And jumping at him is obviously a risk because the ground sparks will juggle you out of the air. And so what I'm really getting at is that the risk reward factor with characters like ShangChi is really poor. There should be, I think that his ground sparks should be much more unsafe, or they should have a cooldown on them, because the rate at which people throw them out, it's just like, come on man, like you're giving the person attacking no work to do whatsoever. As a general rule of thumb in fighting games, launchers are usually pretty unsafe. In Tekken, if you do I think it's a 12 frame launcher, just a standard up forward 4s, or for example Negan's down forward 2, you get a jab punish on those. It's standard. There's not many launchers outside of a few in games where things are safe or extremely hard to punish. And I feel like it's really irritating in Mortal Kombat how the aggressor doesn't have to engage too much. They can just sort of keep on throwing it out until they eventually hit it, and it's like, okay, well, you didn't really work for it, it's just the game allows you to do this bullshit. Okay, so the next character I wanted to use as an example is Joker, and I wanted to use his, I think this is called Kapow. Now this is a launcher, but look at how far that knocks him back. Now it's -20, I believe. Let me double check. Yes, it's -20. I think maybe Sub-Zero can punish it. I'm not entirely sure. I might be wrong. I think the pushback on it is a bit too much. Yeah, I think that for majority of the cast, they cannot punish this. It's unpunishable. So you get a lot of Jokers, even though it's a high, he's doing it from like a block string. So again, I don't know what Joker's block strings are. Look at why would a launcher cause that much distance? This is a launcher that goes into about 40% damage. Now in my mind, if you're doing a move that converts into 40% damage, why the hell would it be safe? Why would it cause that? Look at how far he gets knocked back from the corner. Now, and the range in it as well is insane. He gets 30 to 40% from that, right? The risk reward factor is not there. NRS completely missed the mark. If you are giving somebody ability, and I've seen the combos, they look relatively easy. If you're giving them, look at the range on this. Why does Sub-Zero get pushed back, and when he's close he gets pushed back? Well, what was the logic behind this? NRS do not understand risk reward. They don't understand it at all. They've completely put the favor on Joker there. Joker's just throw this out. He should not move from Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero should not be pushed that far back. He should just be at a neutral. I don't understand. Like the Joker has committed to a move that gives him big damage, and puts him in a pretty good position once he's landed the combo. Why would he also be safe on block? I don't understand what they're thinking, because they cater these games to tournament players. What the hell is wrong with them? Alright, and the last one I want to use is Garrus, and I want to use this as an example for why I think NRS do not understand how to balance launchers properly. Now this string is safe, right? And this string, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they nerfed this string so that it no longer launches into Sand Trap. I'm pretty sure that it no longer launches into Sand Trap from that. So the nerf that they gave to this string was they made it basically a regular string, and it's no longer a launcher. Now this is how I know that NRS do not understand fan criticism and when people are pissed off. I'm going to speak for myself now. I was not pissed off that this was a launcher. Garrus wants to have that as a launcher. That's fine. There's no issues with that. My issue is, why the hell would that be safe? Why would that be safe? If that's a launcher, why would that be safe, and why can he go into this afterwards? He can actually poke you after it's a guessing game after he has thrown out that string. Now it was previously a launcher. It did not need to stop being a launcher. This just needs to be made unsafe. What did NRS do in response to the negative feedback they got from Garrus? They made it so you can't launch with this string anymore. I hope I'm not getting this wrong, because I'm going to sound incredibly stupid if I am. I believe you can only do it from, like, you know, if you're doing it like that. But I'm pretty sure, unless I'm completely messing up the timing, you can't launch from this anymore. That was not the problem with that string. The problem was it was a launcher and it was safe. I've heard Tom Brady speak about this before, and say what you want about Tom Brady, but he was right on this. The post-launcher game with Garrus is a joke, or at least was a joke. It's no longer a launcher. I'm sure he can do other things now from it, but I don't even know what else he can do from it. I'm not a Garrus player, but that's just an example of NOS. They don't know what they're doing. They don't have a clue. There's no issues with him having a launcher. It's okay to have a launcher. That's not the issue. It's the issue when launchers are safe. Launchers grant good combos, and sometimes they grant good sort of stage control, or like good Oki, or whatever you want to call it, or even they leave you in mix-up situations from a standing position. So when you make them safe, you take away the risk-reward factor. There's no risk-reward to any of it. It's just like, okay, well, I mean, he just threw out this move that grants him big damage, and I also can't punish him for it because he made the wrong choice. I blocked, I guessed right, and I still have to guess after this. Do you know how dumb that is? This is a game that is catered towards the competitive scene. I don't care what anybody else says. This game was made for the competitive scene. Yeah, it's got casual shit in there, no doubt. But they clearly made, I mean, they made a combat tour, whatever they call it, the pro tour, or whatever. Like, come on. Actually, there's one more character I want to talk about. And this might come as a bit of a weird one to you guys, but just bear with me. The last character I actually want to talk about is Scorpion. And the reason that I want to talk about Scorpion is, yes, I know this character has been nerfed quite a few times. Some people don't think he's that good. I actually think Scorpion's pretty good. I was considering picking him up for some matchups. The reason I want to talk about Scorpion is because of this. That's his teleport when you meet a bone. It gives him a launcher. Now in Searing Rage, which this variation is, I've just renamed it. He can get anywhere from 30 to 40% with the right buffs and the right amount of meter, or Fatal Blow. And it's the thing that annoys me about this is that you can meter burn that on block. So the person blocking, they read that you're going to teleport because your Scorpion players love teleporting. They go in for the punish, and then you meter burn it, and you get a full combo. Now, I don't really remember Scorpion combos too well, but he can get a full combo from this. Okay, so I don't use Scorpion, and I just did 30%. Do you know how deeply frustrating that is? You guessed right. But for some reason, I don't understand why, he can meter burn it. Does NRS realize that that gives you a mix-up on block? I blocked your stupid neutral break-in teleport, and you can still meter burn it. And Scorpion's not the only one that can do this. There are other characters where you will block their attack, you'll be like, okay, my turn. They'll meter burn it. It's still their turn right back. This game has got a huge issue with turn stealing, and a big part of it is played in the launchers. And it seems like common sense. It seems like common sense where you would not allow somebody who's had their move blocked to meter burn it, a melee attack. I get fireballs, you know, but you commit to a fireball, you meter burn that shit straight away most times. But with launchers and that, I don't really understand why they would do that. And the reason I use Scorpion is because I see it happen a lot with Scorpion. I see it happen with Kano and Sub-Zero as well. But it's just a bit weird that I guess right and I still get launched because they were like, fuck it. Like, they press the fuck it button and I get launched for it. So that's all I really want to talk about today. I think the post-launcher game in Mortal Kombat is really bad. It's really scrubby. And like I said, these videos are made for people that play Mortal Kombat. They're not made for new people. So if you're a new person that's coming into Mortal Kombat trying to learn the game, these videos ain't for you. And if I'm putting you off the game, I'm sorry, but these are my thoughts and feelings on the game. And you know, if you have a different opinion and you don't agree with what I'm saying, then you're more than welcome to go and watch other videos. This is just how I feel about it. Obviously, I have a background in other fighting games, Soul Calibur, Tekken. If you look at my channel, you know that I play Tekken to a decent level and Soul Calibur to a decent level. And I'm just looking at, I'm not looking at things to take away what Mortal Kombat is. I don't want to take away what Mortal Kombat is. I feel like these are standard things across all fighting games, right? I block a move that grants you higher damage. It's my turn now. You messed up. You took your shot. You messed up. It's my turn now. I don't like this whole I pressed a button that does massive damage, but I can keep on pressing buttons. And it's not just the characters that I mentioned in this video. There's loads of characters in this game. It's not this video was about launchers, but turn stealing in this game is a huge issue, a huge issue. And it's very, very small things that they change here and there that would make this a much better experience. But I don't expect them to, because as I demonstrated with the Garrus change, they don't actually know what they're talking about. Now obviously it's going to be very funny if I've got the Garrus one completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure they changed it so that launcher, other than being in the corner or if you do the first two hits, no longer launches. I don't know if there was an update since then, but I'm pretty sure that was the change. But anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, stay safe out there. I will be back shortly with another video. And you know, yeah, just stay safe.